UK office on
enough food for all its citizens and beyond. But can we Africans do so? Well. It is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Interior Minister says Gabon has approved new constitution. It's another story that is making the rounds this morning. And then Senegal's ruling Pastef party claims victory in snap legislative election. We're going to be telling you more about that. It was a scary one that the president took, but well, that's giving them the majority that they will need to get policies through. All right then. Now, in other stories, still on the African front, court ensures fair hearing, even if one party is absent. Atuguba is saying, and Pallien cannot compel MPs to come to Parliament. Atuguba is one of the justices at the Supreme Court. That's what he is saying there as well. Boycott any emergency Parliament recall. I say doing Ketia to end this. The chairman of the NDC, the biggest opposition party, is telling or is advising its parliamentarians there as well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Tribalism, partisanship, and lawlessness are the biggest obstacles to our development. That's what the story is saying. Togbe Afedi, the 14th, is saying. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK as we prepare ourselves for Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in. It's now a minute after 11. In other stories making the rounds in the world, Kremlin says Biden is throwing oil on fire by allowing Ukraine to use U.S. missiles inside Russia. But the question is, now, Russia has gone to North Korea, getting soldiers from North Korea and getting weapons from North Korea to be used in the war. That is okay. I mean, was it Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? The attack that took place there was quite a daunting one. However, that is okay. However, when Ukraine also is now giving the all clear to use missiles that have been provided by the Western support, well, it says that you are throwing fuel on this, so just allow us to maybe do. Now, what is the balance of power in the world now? Who is stronger? Is it the one who just controls you and say, look, I'm holding this. If you dare, I'm going to use it. And therefore, we just, so there is that, people who are wielding so much power, just controlling every one of us. Whether from the west or from the east, I know they are all doing the same thing. Because all that they want is to control, and control. But what do? All right then. Trump Republican says, top Republican says Trump nominees are disruptors. Okay, so let's see what disruption that they can bring. And Hezbollah media chief killed in Israeli strike in Beirut. Those are some of the stories making the rounds this morning. Here in the UK, what is happening here? Starmer to meet China's President Xi at G20 summit, and they are just trying to foster a good relationship with them. Why not? Because they think that is where the market is moving to. So you give me, I also give you, provided you are not spying on me or using my listen to do anything. I think that was good. But what do you think? Now, 2 Met officers charged with sexual assault and burglars steal 2 vehicles from Windsor Castle Estate. Where did the vehicles come from? Where did they drive through? Out from. That's what I mean to say. It's quite an interesting one, right? Well, it's Starr Radio UK. Okay. We will take a break, and once we come back, we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in this morning. There was that sad story pertaining to a young lady who has been found in the boot of a vehicle, and apparently she was missing, I mean, almost a week now, and the husband is being sought after, but he is on the run at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK at 4 minutes past 11 the time, the morning show. And it's now time for us to go all the way to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who who this morning is all ready to fire on all cylinders. And let me say, Yomi, good morning.
Well, a very good morning back to you in the studio, and I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, loud and clear. How are you doing, sir?
Well, it's a Monday. The weather is quite a little bit bright out there, and we're grateful, to be among those that can be counted that we are alive, and there's still a lot that humanity can offer, and that is the reason why the Starr Radio UK network is still much here, to keep us going, especially, with what is happening in Africa, as many development is happening around the world. I was hearing at the background as you were discussing, the Senegal, I believe, is it Senegal that
Senegal,
having an election?
Yeah.
Election was held in Nigeria. So apart from that, I'm doing very well, and I say good morning to those that have joined us and all our sister broadcasts that have all connected, from around the world again this morning.
Oh, yes. Let me say good morning to all the other media partners there who are broadcasting or sharing this broadcast as well. We salute you all. Thank you very much for doing so. Well, how has your week been? The week and the weekend and everything and other commemorations that have taken place?
Well, the weekend was beautiful. There was what we called a lot of engagement, especially when you have a big network like we do. That means that the weekend is either we're on an interview. I was interviewed by the Yoruba World Media on Saturday, in development to the letter that was delivered to Downing Street. On the Sunday we had that Sunday lunch Sunday almost dinner, especially when it's been a long time that many families sit together to have those kind of dinners. I believe by the end of this program, I should quickly, pay a courtesy visit to my mom, which I couldn't do because exactly when it's about 1,600 hours, everywhere seems to be like it's almost 2,100 hours, and you don't feel like going out.
Yeah. It's winter virtually, so you just want to be at home. Just wrap up warm and just be at home. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you on the Starr Radio UK morning show. Okay, let's come to the substantive issues going on across the world and especially relating to Nigeria. In the background, we have the picture of the president of the Prime Minister of India, yes, and then the president of Nigeria. Now, did the Prime Minister of India visit Nigeria?
Oh yes, it was a busy weekend, for the presidency, and that literally means that the presidency were putting out all those guards and making sure everything was well prepared for these very powerful visit from the Prime Minister Modi to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When the news, I picked it up last week, we know that Nigerians and Indian has gone a very long way, especially when we look back to the colonial era, as two of them were colonized by Britain. We have about 200,000 Indian companies that are operating in Nigeria. We have approximately about 50,000 Indians that are living among Nigerians and vice versa. We have a lot of Nigerians that do go to India for medical, and we have quite a lot of them that are living as well in India. So this visit, according to India Prime Minister, is a unique one, and the reason for that is India. This will be the first time in 17 years that an Indian Prime Minister will be visiting, Nigeria. And I'm looking now from what the presidency is saying as well regarding this visit that took out, like I said, every mechanism to make sure that everything went as planned in the Abuja. And I can tell you, I had a productivity, not myself. This is Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I had a productive bilateral session with Prime Minister Modi. We identified several promising areas of enhancing collaboration, cooperation, including culture, defense, mining, customs, education, among others. As the two largest democracy in the world and in Africa, the strategic partnership between Nigeria and India has stood the test of time. Today, visit will help enhance this cooperation towards our shared prosperity. I also honor the Prime Minister Modi with our highest national honor in order of Niger Honor, which is called the GCON, the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger. Thank you, Prime Minister Modi, for being a good friend of Nigeria.
Well, it's quite an interesting one. And did they exchange, is there any business trend or any loans that Prime Minister Modi gave to Nigerians, or some investment that is going to get him from India?
Well, that is always, the relationship that any country wants to have, especially, when it comes to, these kind of visit. I can tell you that the Prime Minister, has left Nigeria, is currently now in Brazil, and I believe Bola Tinubu will be traveling to Brazil. We know that Donald Trump. I mean, I say Donald Trump.
Biden.
Joe Biden is currently as well in the Amazon, so we'll be coming back to that. But what were the takeaway, between Nigeria and India? Nigeria has always been a partnership to India. About $10 billion worth of crude oil was purchased. That means that India needs that crude oil, for their production, as we know that India is going towards that, fourth to fifth economic power in the world. Remember that India negotiated the G20, for the Africans as well. We had, a session that took place, in India and some few years back, I believe last year when the G20 was being held. Mm-hmm. Also, the takeaway is still being put together. I haven't seen any communique coming out yet, but I can tell you that the Indian Prime Minister says he is delighted to connect with the Indian diaspora in Nigeria, and also been grateful for the affection. But there is a reaction from the PDP, but I'll come back to that, because the PDP doesn't seem to be excited with this visit.
Well, whatever happens, we know that one side of the game will not love or like what is going on. So, as you are saying, what are the reactions that is going on? So let's pick the one from the PDP then.
Well, the PDP doesn't seem a little bit comfortable, with this award that has been given to, Indian Prime Minister Modi. But before we give you what the PDP reaction is, let's just about a seconds or 10, 15, listen to the reaction of how, Indian Prime Minister, I don't know whether this is in English, I'm listening to it for the first time, but let's just take a snip of the voice that came out from the Indian Prime Minister. Remember that we always talk about language. And one reason why some are saying that what language is Nigeria, we come back to that, but I don't know what language is going to be speaking, but let's pick a voice out of that. Well, you can tell that is, the Indian language, but it has been translated here. Honor to be conferred with the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger award by Nigeria. I accept it with great humility and dedicate it to the people of India. But the PDP has slammed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu over the GCON conferment on the Indian Prime Minister. Why could this be? According to the People's Democratic Party yesterday, faulted President Bola Tinubu for decorating the visiting Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi with Nigeria's second highest national honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of Niger. Speaking at the Deputy National Youth Leader of the PDP, Timothy Osadolu, described the president's action as a misplaced priority.
Now, the Grand Commander of Niger that has been awarded, that was bestowed on the Indian Prime Minister. Apart from him, who has been bestowed with that? Do you know?
Quite a number of different individuals from Nigeria and across has been given this kind of award. We know that, numbers of people that have got this award. I'm just trying, to pick, those that we have that have been given such an honor in the past. Is the second largest award, that can be given to anyone in Nigeria. And like you said, few Nigerians have got these, and I'm just trying to, to get information to give us in just about a few minutes. But let me come back to you in a minute while we see, those that have been given this award in the past, in Nigeria. But like I said, it's not new that, these awards are given out, especially depending on the relationship, depending on, who and how you have served, within the country. But it seems that the PDP, doesn't seem to be excited, with this award, being given. And, like I said, it's something that is the second highest, when it comes to, this kind of award. But again, you did ask, and I'm going back to list of award and honor that has been received. Okay, I believe this is for the Indian Prime Minister, but I will give us, a kind of, those that we know that have been given this kind of award in just about a few minutes. But let me come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, whilst Yomi try to, pick or get that information for us, because we are not here just only to inform you, but we are here to educate you as well. This is Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi Koiki Hrh in North London studios. I'm Archie here in the South studios, and we are bringing you the updates from Nigeria on the morning show. Now, so, what percentage of business investment in Nigeria are from India?
Well, like I said, there's about quite a number of investments, in Nigeria. There's about 200,000 of such, and what about 22, about 27 billion US dollars. Indian is hope to enhance this bilateral tie by leveraging its 27 billion investment that we have, 7.9 billion trade relations that we have, frequent high-level engagement, diaspora empowerment, strategic initiative. So it seems that India really wants to push, more out of, Nigeria. Nigeria, as we know, Indian believes that they can supply quite a lot, especially the military hardwares that Indians are producing. We know that Indians also have, the skills when it comes to the tech, also because, if we look at the tech around the world, quite a lot of Indians are involved as well. So in terms of what expected, we know that, like we said earlier, that these particular visits means a lot to Indian community, and likewise, to the Nigerian government, to receive such a prominent visit, especially looking at the route. It came down to Nigeria, then when going back out to Brazil is a complete different, route entirely. It was a 21-gun salute at the presidential villa. But the most important that was discussed was the collaboration in counter-terrorism, maritime security, mostly intelligence sharing. But India hopes to enhance these bilateral ties to about 27 billion investment and about 7.9 billion trade relationship that these two have got. In 2022, according to the High Commission of India in Abuja, India emerged amongst the top 5 trading partners of Nigeria, preceded only by China with about 36.12 billion and Netherlands with 16.7 billion. The bilateral trade volume between Nigeria and India fell from 14 billion in 2021-22 to 11.8 billion. Not too sure why, but this is mainly because of the decrease in the volume of oil purchased from Nigeria.
Wow. That's good. That's good. So far as we are getting investment from them and we are getting a proper balance, not that they are just taking advantage of us, why not? And if you are listening to us, why do you think that it's wrong for the Grand Commander of Niger award be, given to the Indian Prime Minister? Why are you upset about it? Or why do you like it? Let us hear from you and we'll be very grateful. But let's move on. Now, let me just bring you that one. The Canadian, because we have the Indian Prime Minister coming to Nigeria talking to Indians there, lauding them for their investment and saying that they are doing, encouraging them to be good citizens, blah, blah, blah. So virtually, he's looking at the corresponding results of their investment that India itself is getting out of them. But we have doctors in Canada who are advising Nigerian, those in the diaspora, to stop sending money home. I know last week you sent some money home. I know you'll be there, you just have a call, somebody is desperate, they need to go to the hospital, or they need some, and then you have to, whether you have it or not, you have to cough up and give it to them. So why is the doctor or the doctors in Canada saying that? Yomi?
Well, it's a very tough one, for us to tell our loved ones in diaspora, not to support, people back home, especially in this very difficult time of the APC government, where many Nigerians are struggling to have 3 square meals. But it seems that there is a particular, doctor in Canada that disagrees. He actually says that stop sending money home, to Nigerians, and this is coming, from these Dr. Zoe that has now stirred conversation on the social media. After advising Nigerians abroad to reconsider sending money to their people in Nigeria, in a viral video, Dr. Zoe expressed his belief that Nigerians living in the country enjoy a better lifestyle compared to their counterpart in abroad. I'm not too sure whether this statement really implies to the millions, and I'm talking about 129 million Nigerians that are facing, starvation and hunger today. But again, yes, when you look at the social media, sometimes you could get carried away if you're not too sure, thinking that all Nigerians are living, the kind of lifestyle that you are seeing on the social media. It's a lot of fake lifestyle, but I can tell you that many Nigerians are going out on a daily basis trying to secure 2,000 naira, which is not even up to $1, just to feed themselves and their family. But admiring the beauty of Lagos, he says, when you are abroad, I mean, if in the West making money and you're sending money to anybody in this Nigeria, just understand that the person has a better lifestyle than you. The person is enjoying more than you. Sharing this recent experience, he continue. Nigeria is a lovely place. In fact, we should fast and pray. This government needs to work, because jollof in Nigeria, you cannot get it in any other country. Like I said, I totally disagree with him, but everybody has their view. But if those abroad might think that millions of Nigerians are enjoying, you better start thinking otherwise, because most of them are crying out, and they're crying out very loudly, that sometimes the reaction of their cry is now that some are even comparing that Buhari's government is far better than Tinubu's government. And I'm not making this up, and I'm going to give us a sound bit of that, because many Nigerians this morning, these are some of in the language, but we'll try and translate it. Let's go with the first one, coming from this particular trader in the market, and this is what she had to say regarding hunger in the country.
It's too much. This government is too much for this country. Please, if government work, if they cannot protest, we Yalaja, we go open our nyash, we go open our press, we go protest. Too much government is too much for this country. But before you win self, you go suffer. The government is too much. Please, man, they find solution for this thief. It's too much. Gary 2,000 naira. Since when my father born me, I'd not buy 1,000 naira pence of Gary. They're selling it 2,000 naira now. It's too much. The government is too much. Even the rent, the rich one rise up to 1,200 naira. For what reason? It's too much, to buy meat. Even the commerce are just rise up. Two fish for Chicago, 1,200 naira, 3 of the pieces of.
Well, let's listen to one more. And again, these are the cries. But it seems that Buba Garua, I remember him, we had an interview with him, some years back, and this is his own reaction to Nigerian suffering today.
I have nothing new to say.
People are hungry.
Let them die. It's their fault. Yeah, I'm supporting Tinubu 100%.
You're supporting Tinubu
100% to deal with Nigerians. People like you, so that when next election comes, I will now see whether when people bring money, you will vote for them.
But people are still getting the money. Yesterday in Ondo State, people were even shortchanged. Someone was told to give out 10,000 naira, but it looks like that 10,000 naira did not get to the individual. He cut out 3,000 out of it. There was a particular one that Chief Sunday Igboho sent to me. Is in the language. It's all about 30 seconds. Let's listen to it together, and I'll translate it. Chief Sunday Igboho actually sent this to me, and this is part of why he is saying that many Nigerians still do not understand the tricks of the politician. And let's listen to this particular video in the audio version. We voted. The election went very well. There is no problem. There is no fight. We voted. We collected money. We collected money. We collected money to vote. And the next person said, you shouldn't be saying that. We were told not to say that because that is not what we were told to say.
Interesting. When it comes to African politics, oh boy. That is why this man, the latter video that you communication or that interview that you were granting, the man was saying, because he said that if you go take money and you go vote somebody who is not supposed to be there into power, be rest assured they're going to punish you. But I think that the subsidy, the fuel subsidy that was removed, have been one of the issues that has brought about this pain, because especially in Africa, we know that the moment fuel prices go up, it cuts across whatever. Even the one selling pure water, everything is affected by it, and that has been the main thing. I don't know, but I know that the government is still paying fuel subsidy. But let's see, if you are there listening to us, you want to share your take with us, feel free to do so. Let me say good morning once again to Bishop Adeshina and your team at the RBS office in Lagos. We hope you are all doing very well. Thank you very much for joining in. Let's move on. Now, Ayedetiwa wins the Ondo governorship election. Now we have information coming through saying that, well, interestingly, there were bribery that went on. That's why people voted. However, though he said it's won a landslide, Tinubu is saying that if the opposition, those who are crying foul, have any issue, they should go to the courts. Again, Yomi.
Well, it's never new in the politics of Nigeria. Go to court. President Bola Tinubu tells aggrieved losers of the Ondo State governorship election. Let's first remind our listeners that the reason why there's an election that doesn't line with the presidential election is because during one of these elections, there was a court case that turned around for somebody else, and that means that, the election is no longer, parallel with the presidential election. We have a couple of elections like that, though we saw it that has just happened. This one is in the southwest part of Yoruba land, where, we saw the lady speaking that we collected money and we voted as we were told. But President Bola Tinubu has now asked political parties and candidates who are not happy with the outcome of the just concluded Ondo State governorship election to seek redress in the court. President Tinubu said this in a statement yesterday by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga. Incumbent Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa. Remember that Aketi was there until he passed on. While he took over, there was a lot of tussle. Power was not going to be left to him. While Rotimi Akeredolu was on his sick bed in Germany, the wife was trying to hold on to the power while the deputy was fighting. Well, finally, it seems that the deputy has now been given the mandate to run the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. I was looking at Ondo State itself, some few days ago over the weekend, and Ondo, as we know, was formed on the 3rd of February 1976 from the western region. It has about 15,500 kilometers. But one thing that is unique about the state that we normally talked about is the highest bitumen in Africa. I believe number 2 in the world, but there is no road that ties even up to the network across the state, not to talk about making use of it in Nigeria. It doesn't just have bitumen. Ondo has the highest cubicles of gas. And also, when you talk about crude oil, you can talk about Ondo State. The capital is Akure, and like I said, we will be monitoring the situation, but many people are asking again, what has the state done for its people since 1999 when we returned back to democracy, according to what they say, democracy for the people, by the people, and it looks like the people have collected their 3,000 naira for the next 4 years again.
Well, we sell our rights and we expect to hold the people accountable. Oh boy, we sold it. Obabalaji, good morning to you. He said, good morning, Mr. Archie and Mr. Koiki. Almighty Allah will continue to be with you, your family. More strength to our health. I love you, big bro. Watching from Devi country, the devil country called Nigeria by the British. Well. Omobolaji, I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you very, very much for joining in as well. Let me say good morning to Atakufi, also in Ghana. But it's already UK 11:30. Let's talk about Chief Sunday Adeyemo, Dr. Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho's mom's demise, and the fact that he is also
not the mom, a close friend and a monarch.
A monarch, yeah. I was asking about the mom's demise. Has she been buried? Because I think at the time there was a lot of things that happened there.
Yeah, she was buried. Dr. Sunday Igboho's mother was buried in February. I remember, that was when he actually returned back, to Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Also, he did go to Nigeria before flying.
Oh, yes. Well, he was in Nigeria in February.
Oh.
Even with all the, obstacles, the royal father, many of them, including, the particular one that we're going to be discussing about, which is Olugbon of ORILEEDE. As we know, in Nigeria, we have our monarchy system that are still very strong, very powerful. They have a massive role to play. And the monarch system that we're talking about today, Olugbon of ORILEEDE, lost his mother, on Friday. And Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho, a.k.a. Igboho, has expressed his profound sorrow, heartfelt condolences to His Royal Majesty Oba Francis Alawo Olugbon of ORILEEDE on the loss of his cherished mother, Deaconess Margaret Oyeronke Alawo. The passing of the Deaconess Alawo at the age of 81 marks the end of a life dedicated to service, love for our family and community. As a devoted Christian and partner in ministry with her late husband, Pastor Amos Alawo, she exemplified a life of sacrifice, devotion to the work of God. Together, they shepherd numerous churches under the Christ Apostolic Church CAC, leaving an enduring legacy of spiritual growth, inspiration across many countries. Mama Alawo's departure is a great loss, not only to the family, but also to the entire Yoruba community, as her life was a beacon of faith, humility, and service. Her commitment to our family and family faith serve as a testament to the values of resilience and dedication. Dr. Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho acknowledged the deep pain of losing a beloved mother, a pain that words can scarcely stood. He prays for God comfort to surround Oba Francis Alawo, the royal family, and all who mourn this irreplaceable loss. He also extends his prayer to the strength, unity with the family as the honor and life memory of a vicious woman who taught his many life. As we grieve the momentum loss, find solace in knowledge that Mama Alawo has complete and divine. He further calls upon the Yoruba people and the large community to join prayers and support for Olugbon and his family, Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. And this is coming from myself, a spokesman, and this is coming on the Starr Radio UK network on the 18th of November 2024. I come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yeah, may so rest in perfect peace. And when you have people die and they talk about their legacy and everything, makes you sit up and ask yourself, what am I doing? Are people going to say sad about me, or are they going to say I am a very wicked person, I never helped anybody? or what? You want to know more, you got to stay tuned. You want to pay your condolences, feel free to do so as well. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Mr. Olayomi Koiki in our North London studio. We know that we spent so much time, I've taken so much of his time, but hey, we are here to serve you, and that's what we do. So over to you, Yomi, for the rest of the stories and what is happening on the social media platform. Over to you, sir.
Well, still quite a lot, is happening on the social media network this morning as we go back to few more headline before we move straight to the social media and be reviewing what is happening this morning, the 18th of November 2022. Davido, as we know, is a good time when it comes to giving out, and again, Davido has pledges 300 million to support orphanage to fight the drug abuses as well. We need a lot of our, A-star celebrity with a lot of money that they have, to give back, especially as many Nigerians, are struggling. We do know that even across the part of the world that we have the same that are being donated by some of those that have enough that can give out without even thinking that they've given anything of such. So let's quickly go into that, and then we take more from what is happening. The Nigerian music superstar David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has announced plans to mark his birthday this year with a donation of 300 million to orphanage and a charity dedicated to combating drug abuse and addiction among young people. The singer shared this on his X today, writing once again, "My birthday this year, we are donating to orphanage and a charity that helps young people stay away from drug abuse and addiction. This year, it is 300 million naira. Details will follow soon." This gesture continues Davido's tradition of giving back to the society during his birthday celebration. It is not the first time the artist has supported foster homes. Last in 2021, Davido announced a 300 million naira donation to orphanage across the country, and we do know that his commemoration of his 29th birthday is also donated quite a lot. So in 2023, it was 230,000 to 400 orphanage. I think he's top it up again to make it 300. And we say kudos to Davido Adeleke on the Starr Radio UK network this morning. Let's take one more. Castina announces 5 billion naira women empowerment fund to strong economy. And we hope that when this money is announced, it goes straight, to those that needs to receive the fund to support. And I'm talking about the Castina, empowerment. What do we know this morning? We love when we have empowerment, to women, because women are the backbone of any economy around the world. And as we know that many are being marginalized, and sometimes many are being killed. I was looking at a story this morning, a very sad one in the UK, where a woman has been killed. The body was dumped in Ilford, and we believe, according to the Nottinghamshire police, says that the individual has left the country. Let's hope that he will be caught up as quickly as possible to face justice. Castina State Governor Malam Diko Umar Raba has launched a transformative 5 billion naira women empowerment program designed to bolster micro, small, medium-scale enterprise across the state. He disclosed this yesterday during the launch of the grant distribution ceremony for 7,000 women from the Northwest region held at the Local Government Service Commission Conference Hall in Castina. Like I said, we will continue to monitor. So we take one from the business and then we review what is happening as well. As we know, foreign influx, and I hope it's not because this individual says we shouldn't be sending money home, but it looks like the foreign influx of Nigeria has dropped by 11 billion naira, according to the report, this morning. What do we know? And what can we talk about it? According to the foreign inflow into the Nigerian Exchange Limited, declined to the lowest point of the year of September by 11.26 billion naira. This is according to the latest domestic foreign portfolio investment report of Nigeria. The report indicates that as the foreign inflow weakened, foreign investors increased the amount of their investment that they liquidated between August and September. Foreign inflow into Nigeria in the first 9 months of 2024 stood at 310 billion naira, higher than 108 billion in 2023. The highest value of inflow was actually recorded May this year, with 54.87 billion. It has steadily declined since then to 11 billion. So not too sure why it's declining, but there's a lot of factor to that, as we know. Let's take one from more on the business, and then we move straight. Government can generate revenue from property tax, and this is coming from the IMF. According to the report, the International Monetary Fund has identified property tax as a key revenue source for sustainable growth in Nigeria and lower income countries. This was disclosed in a recent analysis by the IMF. It stated recurrent tax on immovable property could help local government capture the wealth. Let's go and talk about Obasanjo again this morning, as Obasanjo says again that he will not sit back and allow Nigeria to break away. Well, the reaction of such has literally triggered many across the board, especially those that want the self-determination and those campaigning for the peaceful dissolution and the de-amalgamation of Nigeria. Obasanjo, the former Obasanjo, as we know, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, this is the Starr Radio UK network. We do know that he actually said so, but before we know actually what he said, we got to listen to this, how the northern elders that visited Obasanjo about 2-3 weeks ago are responding to what Obasanjo says during an interview that was granted over the weekend.
It appears he's going to communicate a different narrative which may be misinterpreted. Yeah. How is the League responding to that?
Well, I think, thank you very much once again. The visit to our leaders, of course, one of them, as you very well referred to, was former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He welcomed the idea after listening to us, after listening to our argument, our objectives, our focus. He commended our effort, but as a nationalistic person, he said, look, this problem is not limited to the North alone. Why can't you broaden your contacts and reach out to your colleagues up in the other part of the country and come up with a National League of Democrats? And that was a very wonderful suggestion. We came back, and that is already on the table before the leadership of the League and is being considered. And we've already started reaching out to some few names, and we are registering the same understanding, and we are receiving the cooperation, and they applauded it. Very soon, we will come up with what he suggested. And he, in fact, went further to say that any day you come up with a national League of Democrats, come back, I will be the grand patron, because he said anything to break up this country, he will not. He will use his last blood to defend it. He is a Nigerian. He is proud to be a citizen of Nigeria, and he is not prepared. And a number of them that we reached out to express the same thing. So I think this will soon be on board. We are sure.
Well, and the reaction has come very fast. It seems that yesterday on all the network, especially those that are campaigning for the self-determination, are reacting to Obasanjo. A lot I say so much, but let's go straight to Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the government exile of the Biafra. The panic is real. If Obasanjo says he would defend one Nigeria with the last drop of his blood, he is already close to his grave. At his age, what value does he add to the existence of Nigeria, with a question mark? Let's take some more of the reaction, and these are the reaction, on the social media as well, especially, like I said, those that are campaigning, to exit Nigeria under the Yoruba and likewise the Biafra, and as much as others. And some of those reactions, I'm going to give you one more, then I'll come back straight to you in the studio at exactly 11:42 on the Starr Radio UK network this morning. Like I said, remember that Obasanjo is still a very important figure, but many Yorubas are saying that Obasanjo is no longer irrelevant and he should keep away because this is not the time to joke with the Yoruba that really wants to go. And it will never, I will not give you the last part of it with Obasanjo, because he sold us to the slavery for years ahead. This is coming from Big Solution Global. This man wanted to say the future Yoruba can build a modern political economy within 25 years. Yoruba nation with an innovative blueprint can rebuild back the best economy capable of competing with the top 5 developed economy in the world by 2045. Like I said, the reaction is coming, and many people are not pleased with this kind of statement that Obasanjo has just released.
It's quite interesting. I know that our time is fast spent, but we'll have time to dive deeper into it. So Obasanjo is against the breakaway, but the question is, what is he doing to bring about the equal treatment of everybody and stopping the marginalization of various groupings? What has he done? He became a leader, and what did he do about that? Bishop Adesina says Nigeria's currency will drastically devalue between December and January to 2,000 plus naira to $1. So Nigerians should prepare to face more hardship. Now, I take Bishop Adesina's word very seriously, because all the predictions that is done before Tinubu took over until today has all come through. So watch it. Watch it. Yomi, before you go.
Well, it's another Monday morning. In Yoruba, we say Ojo Aje, and that means that we hope that as many of our people that are out there, trying to find something to eat, will not run into, any kind of, attacks by the terrorists across the country. So stay tuned more with Archie on the Starr Radio UK network. I'll be back again tomorrow for more update from the diaspora, to back home, to what is happening with the self-determination campaign, and to many other news that is filtering through in and out of Nigeria. And the Yorubas, the Biafra, the Arewa, and the millions of Nigerians across the globe, as we are doing very well. We do know that, but we're saying thank you so much, Mr. Archie. Okay, very good morning and welcome. We won't have so much to discuss today, but later on we will have more time for a proper conversation. So if you're new to my platform, remember that this is a platform that talks about Yoruba nation. I care less about whatever you think about it. The struggle continue and the fight, will also continue as well. So we will not give up and we will not be tired. We will continue to emphasize that peaceful dissolution of Nigeria is in the interest of everyone. We do not want exactly what happened in other countries like Yugoslavia, to happen in Nigeria. But that is subject to whether the Nigerian government wants to listen or not. Is entirely up to them. So what we will continue to do is create more awareness and educate millions of Yoruba people on the reason why, to leave Nigeria is in the interest of us. And I didn't even start my Instagram. I actually forgot about it this morning, but that's fine. So this morning, I'm not sitting here because, like I said, it's only the Starr Radio UK that we're discussing this morning. I will be back, sometime later on today, where we will be giving you everything you need to know with the struggle, where we are heading to. Thank you so much to millions of people that have managed to watch, the broadcast yesterday. I'm told that broadcast, has hit more than 1 million. But the problem is you are not giving me, the funding to make sure that we can crack into every part of Yoruba land. We need the funding. We need your support. Very, very important. That is the only thing you can do for me. The more you can support this platform financially, the more we can do as well. But without financial support, it will be difficult, to promote, the agenda of self-determination. The Yoruba people wants to leave. Nobody can stop it. Not even the kings in Yoruba land. They have no right to stop it. But one thing we can say is that we will fight with our media to educate millions of our people. So in Timon Solataro, torí ànílé jókòó fún program nísìn, a máa láti padà wá later nígbà tá a máa wá ṣe program tiwa ní pẹ̀sẹ̀pẹ̀sẹ̀. Ilé tá a wá ṣe láàárọ̀ yìí, òun ni tá à ń pè ní Starr Radio UK. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ ti ṣe mọ̀, I'm at home, I will do it. If I'm not at home, we'll do it on the go. And if I'm not available, I will not be able to do it. But if I'm available, my job is to continue to bring education. So, báyìí tí mọ̀ kankan nípa ìrìn àjò yìí tẹ́lẹ̀, bóyá fi dá sí, bóyá ń wò pé kò kàn yín, gbogbo wa ló kàn, bó ṣe kàn mí ló kàn ìwọ, ó wá kù sí mi, ó kù sí wọ lọ́wọ́, pé ká jọ ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ní kíákíá, ká jọ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ìlú tó ń gba ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́yìn, tó ń dìlé ògo wa, ó ń gba ògo, ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ kí a ṣe kí ni, ká gbéra ńlẹ̀ ní kíákíá, ká exit Nàìjíríà. Kò sí nǹkan tẹ́ lè ṣe láti lè fi revive Nàìjíríà, kò séye àdúrà tẹ́ lè gbà, kò sí ọ̀nà àbáyọ kankan ju pé kólúkálukú máa lọ. Èyí tá a ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà ti tó, àbáyàn kankan jà. Ìtàkùn sọ ni pé Nigeria is holding us back from being a progressive Yoruba people, nationalists, and we should be proud of who we are. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá.
Once again, this is the Starr Radio UK network. We do know that he actually said so. Once again, this is the Starr.
So, gbogbo wa gbọ́dọ̀ dìde fún ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ yìí. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí, ó kàn ẹ̀mí, ó kàn ọwọ́. Tó bá ní kò kàn ẹ́, it's fair enough, but don't be selfish. So, ẹ má sọ pé kò kàn yín, ó kàn ẹ̀mí o, ó kàn wọ́, ó kàn ra lé. Gbogbo wa ló kàn, ẹ má bínú. Àwọn audio tí mo ṣe ni mo sáré try láti release síta. Ẹ bá jẹ́ ìrìn àwọn audios wa, ẹ bá wa pín, ẹ jẹ́ kó lọ sí gbogbo ibi tó yẹ kó lọ. That is the only thing you can do for me. That is the only way you can help this platform. Nobody's coming to save you from the media. Tó bá ń dúró de Fox News, BBC, Sky News, they are not interested to secure our lives. Kò sí tó kàn wọ́n wà interested. Àwa tí a mọ̀ pé ọmọ Yorùbá ni wá, bí Àrólé ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yìí, tẹ́ bá ti rí pé àbẹ̀rẹ̀ program, ẹ share, ẹ bá wa pín, ẹ jẹ́ kó lọ sí gbogbo ibi tó yẹ kó lọ. That is the only thing you can do. And I pray that Elédùmarè will continue to protect us from the evil doers. Àwọn tí wọ́n fi paná ògo ọmọ Yorùbá, àwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé àwọn nìkan làwọn ń gbádùn, tí millions of our people are struggling. Many people cannot go to school. Ẹni tó lọ sí school gan kò níṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́. And we can see that the world that you are thinking will come to save us are not coming to save anybody. So all I can say is that let's continue to create awareness. Create awareness, and we will prepare for other areas that we have all talked about. And there's no point continue to emphasize those points. The end game of Nigeria. But you must prepare. And if you think that any diaspora is coming to rescue you, they are not coming. You would have to rescue yourself. It's either to japa or you will stay there and you have to rescue yourself. And if you don't rescue yourself, the politicians will become very powerful. And that's how I can tell you this morning. Thank you so much. And God bless Yoruba people. God bless the Biafra. God bless the Hausa. God will never bless Nigeria because Nigeria has spilled millions of blood of Christians, Muslims, and the traditionalists. And the God that you call to save Nigeria will no longer bless Nigeria anymore. My name is Olayomi Koiki. Have a very good afternoon or very great day ahead and bye from this end. Remember, if you'd like to support us, those are all the details on the screen. Screenshot it. Make sure you continue to support because that is the only way we can continue to float this media organization. Bye for now.